In my past life, I was sponsored by a wealthy man and given a bracelet to wear, but his daughter used this bracelet to siphon away my luck. When I uncovered the truth, his entire family pushed me down the stairs, and I died on the spot, reborn into this life. I've returned to the day I was given the bracelet. The smell of disinfectant stung my nose. In the orphanage's activity room, the white walls were mottled. I stood in line, my nails digging into my palms. In front of me stood Mr. Lin, the wealthy man in a tailored suit, and his bejeweled wife. Behind them, cameras were pointed directly at us. "Today is a good day, Mrs. Lin said with a smile, her voice sickly sweet. "We will sponsor 10 children, from elementary school all the way through college." The camera panned across the faces of us orphans. "My name is Sue Wan. In my previous life, it was today, along with 9 other girls. I was chosen because we were the most presentable looking." Mrs. Lin gave each of us a silver bracelet, cold to the touch, engraved with an ugly little flower. "This is the token," she said. "Seeing it is like seeing us." At that time, all I felt was gratitude. I thought good days were coming. Stupid as hell. "Next, it's my turn." Mrs. Lin picked up the bracelet and was about to slip it onto my wrist. I took a sudden step back. Everyone froze in shock. The camera also paused for a moment. Focusing on me, Lin Fuhao frowned. "Child, what's wrong?" I lowered my head, my voice trembling as if afraid. My mom said, "I can't just wear things given by others. This was made up. What mother do I have?" But the teachers at the orphanage had taught us that showing weakness could always win sympathy. Mrs. Lin's smile froze for a moment before quickly melting away again. "Auntie isn't a bad person, you know. This is a good thing." But I raised my head, forcing a few tears into my eyes. "I'm afraid I might lose it. It's too valuable." Some of the children around us snickered. "They think I'm foolish for not enjoying the good life." Lin Fuhao grew impatient and waved his hand. "Forget it." Next, I breathed a sigh of relief, my back drenched in sweat. The bracelet wasn't put on. In this lifetime, the first step is accomplished. As the event concluded, the selected girls gathered around Mrs. Lin, chattering excitedly. The silver bracelets on their wrists glinted coldly under the lights. I hid in the corner, watching them. In the previous life, it was them, just like me, thinking we had grasped a lifeline. What happened later? Later, our grades plummeted dramatically. I'm working harder than ever, but the textbooks might as well be written in hieroglyphics. My health is deteriorating too, with constant minor illnesses and a sallow complexion. As for my appearance, it's nothing to write home about, growing plainer by the day, even bordering on ugly. The children at the orphanage who weren't chosen have started mocking us. "Got knocked silly by the money, huh? Serves you right for trying to climb the social ladder." The online comments were even harsher. "Truly an orphan, no upbringing at all, corrupted the moment they got money. You're getting uglier by the day, and your hearts turned wicked. Clearly ungrateful." I suffered the worst cyberbullying because I used to be the most outstanding one. Later, I dropped out of school and became a cleaner. It wasn't until I worked as a cleaner for the Lin family that I learned the truth. That bracelet was never a token of love. It was a medium for transferring fortune. Our intelligence, beauty, and health were all sucked away by that wretched bracelet and transferred to Lin Jiaojiao, the sickly, dim-witted, and plain-looking daughter of the wealthy Lin family. Lin Jiaojiao grew healthier, topped her class, and became a socialite, and we became her nourishment. I wanted to expose them. But Lin the tycoon pushed me down the stairs. Before death, the sound of bones breaking was clearer than his cold laughter. "An orphan? Who would believe you? I can't accept this. I just can't accept it." I stared fixedly at those girls wearing bracelets. Their faces were filled with naive longing, just like me in my previous life. "Sue Wan, are you stupid?" A short-haired girl ran over. It was Xiao Mei, who hadn't been selected. "That's Boss Lin. So many people want to be chosen. And you actually dodged him." I tugged at the corner of my mouth but said nothing. Xiao Mei pouted and ran off to look at the chosen girls again, her eyes filled with envy. I watched her. In my past life, Xiao Mei, out of jealousy, always bullied us, lucky ones, but she was living just fine, healthy, graduated high school smoothly, and married an ordinary man, much better off than us. The activity room gradually emptied. I saw Mrs. Lin pull a staff member aside and slip them a red envelope. Keep an extra eye on that child, Soo-won, she said in a hushed voice. Don't let her ruin things. The staff member nodded obsequiously. Don't worry, Mrs. Lin, I understand. I turned and walked away quickly. They've noticed me, because I wasn't wearing a bracelet. This is just the beginning, Lin family. Your good days are coming to an end. The next day, the orphanage served porridge with pickles for breakfast. The selected girls had an extra egg in their bowls. It was specially arranged by Boss Lin, the teacher said with a smile. They looked at each other and peeled the eggs smugly. I silently drank my porridge. In my previous life, it was the same. From that day on, our meals were better than others. Looking back now, that wasn't preferential treatment, it was to fatten us up, so they could suck us dry with more pleasure. I saw that girl named Li Ting, eating eggs while stroking her bracelet, smiling with complete satisfaction, in her previous life. She was the first to collapse, diagnosed with kidney disease in her second year of high school and forced to drop out. I lowered my head and finished every last drop of the porridge. To seek revenge, one must first stay alive, and not just alive, but living well. There's a math class in the morning. I sit in the back row. The teacher is writing equations on the blackboard. In my previous life, shortly after receiving financial aid, I could no longer understand the material, simple questions. Yet I couldn't figure them out no matter how long I stared. But now, those numbers and symbols are crystal clear. I picked up my pen and started solving the problem swiftly. My desk mate, a chubby kid, leaned over to peek at my speed and said, Soo-won, you're this good. I smiled and said, just scribbled some nonsense. He gave an "oh" and continued staring blankly at the problem. The class bell rang, and the teacher collected the homework. When he saw my notebook, he paused for a moment. Soo-won, did you do all these yourself? Good. He nodded. Keep it up. I noticed that Li Ting and the others had mostly blank homework notebooks. They frowned, looking troubled. It was only the first day. Did the bracelet work that quickly? A chill ran through my heart. At noon, Xiaomei came to see me again. Hey, Soo-won, Mrs. Lin has sent someone with something for you. She pointed at several large boxes by the door of the activity room. New clothes and backpacks for those 10 girls. Xiaomei pouted. Such favoritism. I walked over. A few of the chosen girls had already gathered around the boxes, eagerly rummaging through them. The person sent by Mrs. Lin was a man in a black suit, holding a camera and taking photos. Come on, smile, he said. Let Mrs. Lin see how happy you are. The girls immediately flashed bright smiles. Only Li Ting, smiling at first, suddenly clutched her stomach, her face turning pale. What's wrong? The girl next to her asked. Nothing. Li Ting shook her head. It just hurts a little. The man frowned slightly but paid no attention and continued taking photos. I stared at the silver bracelet on Li Ting's wrist. Under the sunlight, its intricate pattern seemed to come alive. How disgusting. I turned around and went back to the dormitory. The dormitory was an 8-person room with bunk beds. My bed was in the corner. As soon as I sat down, I noticed something under the pillow. It's a silver bracelet, exactly the same as the one Mrs. Lin gave. I suddenly looked up. No one was in the dormitory. Who put it there? Was it that staff member? Or was it the Lin family's doing? I picked up the bracelet, icy cold to the touch. Even colder than the one I wore in my past life. I walked to the window and threw it with all my strength. The bracelet traced an arc through the air before landing in the garbage heap behind the orphanage. Only after doing this did I feel slightly better inside. Trying to trick me? No way. In the afternoon, Li Ting didn't come to class. It said she had severe stomach pain and went to the infirmary. The teacher said it might be from eating something bad. No one doubted anything else. I sat in the classroom, listening to the teacher's lecture. Sunlight streamed through the window, warm and comforting. How nice. I could still listen to the lesson, still think, unlike my previous life, when I had already started staring blankly at books. Before school ended, the homeroom teacher suddenly called me to the office. It was that staff member who had accepted Mrs. Lin's red envelope. Teacher Wang, with a stern face, she said, Soo-won, why did you refuse Mrs. Lin's sponsorship this morning? I'm afraid I'll lose the bracelet. I repeated what I said in the morning. That's just an excuse. Teacher Wang slammed the table. Mrs. Lin is trying to help you out of kindness. How can you be so unreasonable? I don't care, she interrupted me. Mrs. Lin will come again tomorrow, you must accept the support and wear the bracelet. I clenched my fists, it finally happened. I won't wear it. I kept my head down, my voice soft but firm. What did you say? Teacher Wang raised her voice. Su Wan, don't push your luck. This is for your own good, it's not for my good. I lifted my head and looked at her. Teacher Wang, why are you forcing me like this? She froze for a moment, her eyes flickering. I'm doing this for your own good. Is that so? I stared at her. Her face was slightly flushed, though whether from anger or something else, I couldn't tell. Anyway, you must wear it tomorrow. With those words, she turned and walked away. I stepped out of the office. The setting sun casts long shadows. The Lin family. Teacher Wang. How many more people are in on this together? No matter how many, I will never wear that bracelet again. Never. The next day, Mrs. Lin really came. Still with the camera, she called me directly to the activity room. Su Wan, were you scared yesterday? She smiled kindly. Auntie doesn't blame you. She was holding that silver bracelet in her hand. Come, put it on. The camera is pointed at me. Several teachers around, including Teacher Wang, are all staring at me. I won't wear it. My voice isn't loud. But in the quiet activity room, it's very clear. Mrs. Lin's smile froze. Teacher Wang immediately stepped forward. Su Wan, how can you speak to Mrs. Lin like that? Apologize now. I won't wear it, I repeated, looking at Mrs. Lin. I don't like this bracelet. What does a child know about likes and dislikes? Mrs. Lin's tone grew heavier. This is my kind gesture. I appreciate the sentiment, I said. But I can't accept the bracelet. You, Mrs. Lin laughed in exasperation. Do you know how many people would kill for this opportunity? Then let them have it. With that, I turned and walked away. Behind me came Teacher Wang's scream and Mrs. Lin's suppressed anger. The camera was still pointed at me. I knew that tomorrow there might be news about me online. An ungrateful orphan, rejecting the kindness of generous people. Whatever, compared to the outcome of my past life. This is nothing. Back in the classroom, my classmates were giving me strange looks. Xiaomei ran over and whispered, Su Wan, you're amazing. You even dared to stand up to Mrs. Lin. Nothing much. But, Xiaomei scratched her head. Aren't you afraid they'll retaliate against you? Retaliate? I laughed. They've already started. In the afternoon, I was called to Teacher Wang's office and made to stand in punishment for the entire afternoon. The reason is disrespecting teachers and talking back to kind-hearted people. Standing it is. This gives me a chance to think things through. Li Ting still hasn't come. I heard she was transferred to a major hospital. Acute nephritis. That was quick. In the previous life, she also had kidney disease. But not this early. Could it be because I wasn't chosen that they accelerated? I look out the window. The daughter of the Lin family, Lin Jiaojiao. Is she getting healthier at this moment? After school, Teacher Wang called me to stay. Su Wan, you're fired. I froze for a moment. You disobeyed management and damaged the orphanage's reputation. She pulled out a piece of paper. This is signed by the director. I stared at that paper. It finally happened. They want to force me to leave. Where can an 11-year-old girl go after leaving the orphanage? By then, when they hypocritically show up again, I'll have no choice but to let them control me. What a cunning plan. I'm not leaving, I said. You don't have a choice. Teacher Wang shoved the paper at me. Pack your things. You're leaving tomorrow. Clutching the paper, I walked out of the office. It was almost dark. In the orphanage, wisps of smoke rise from the chimneys. What should I do? Forcing them to stay is definitely not an option. Both Teacher Wang and the director have been bribed. Leave. Where to? I walked to the garbage dump behind the orphanage. The bracelet I threw away yesterday was still there, buried under a pile of rotten vegetable leaves. I gave it a kick, sending it flying farther away. Suddenly, someone spoke from behind. Are you really not interested in that opportunity? It was Xiaomei. She had followed without anyone noticing when. That's not an opportunity, I said. But, Xiaomei hesitated. Can you survive if you leave here? I remained silent. I know a place, Xiaomei suddenly said. My hometown. My grandmother is still there. She once told me that if I didn't want to stay here anymore, I could go to her. You'll help me. We were roommates after all. Xiaomei scratched her head. And I don't think you're a bad person. I watched her. In my past life, Although Xiaomei was gossipy and liked to bully others, she wasn't inherently bad. "Thank you, no need to thank me," she said. "I'll help you pack your things. We'll leave tonight while the guard is dozing off." The night was dark and windy. Xiaomei helped me carry a small bundle containing a few of my old clothes and some spare change I had saved up. We sneaked past the guard and slipped out of the orphanage. Outside, the world was bustling with traffic and crowds. It was completely different from the quiet of the orphanage. "This way," Xiaomei said, "to the bus station, to catch the midnight bus." We walked along the roadside. The streetlights stretched our shadows very long. "When we get to my hometown, just say you're my distant cousin," Xiaomei reminded me. "My grandma is really nice." Oh, right." Xiaomei suddenly remembered something. "What's the deal with that bracelet? You seem really afraid of it." I stopped walking and looked at her. Should I tell her? Would an 11-year-old child believe it? "That bracelet is dangerous," I said. "Wearing it will make you sick. Stupid and ugly." Xiaomei widened her eyes. "Really? Is that true?" "Look at Li Ting," I said. "She wore it yesterday and was hospitalized today." Xiaomei swallowed hard and shivered, saying, "That's terrifying. So, I can't wear it, right? You mustn't wear it." Xiaomei nodded vigorously. "Thank goodness you didn't." We continued walking forward. The lights at the bus station are very bright. I bought a ticket for the 1 a.m. bus. There are only a few people in the waiting room. We found a corner and sat down. Xiaomei leaned on my shoulder and soon fell asleep, yet I couldn't sleep, gazing at the night outside the window. "The Lin family, you think everything will be fine just by driving me away? Wait for it, I'll be back." "I definitely will." The car rattled along all night. In the morning, we arrived at Xiaomei's hometown. It was a small village, the air thick with the scent of earth. Xiaomei's grandmother was a thin, elderly woman with a slightly hunched back, but her eyes were very bright. "Is this your cousin?" The old lady held my hand, her touch warm. "Yes, Grandma. Her name is Su Wan." Good. The old lady smiled. "Now that you're here, we're family. Stay with us." The old lady's home was a small adobe house, modest but very clean. So, I settled down in the village. I followed the old woman to work in the fields and went to school with Xiaomei. She told the teacher I was a transfer student, temporarily attending. The school here was very shabby. Even worse than the orphanage, but I didn't care. Being able to study was good enough. My grades are excellent, and the teacher likes me very much. Xiaomei's grades are average, but she works very hard. Life is very peaceful, but I haven't forgotten the Lin family. Every once in a while, I would have Xiaomei go to the internet cafe in town to check for news about the Lin family. Lin Fuhao's business was doing better and better, and he became a well-known philanthropist. Mrs. Lin often participated in various public welfare activities, maintaining a very positive image. Their daughter, Lin Jiaojiao, also gradually began appearing in the public eye. In the news, Lin Jiaojiao was indeed quite ordinary-looking as a child and often sickly, but now, she has grown increasingly beautiful, like a little star. Moreover, she excels academically and has won numerous awards. The reports describe her as a prodigy girl and God's favorite. The comments below are all praises. The Lin family must have accumulated good karma to have such a wonderful daughter. Jiaojiao is both beautiful and smart, truly enviable. I looked at the photo of Lin Jiaojiao on the screen. There seemed to be something on her wrist. Upon closer inspection, it was a silver bracelet, very similar to the one from back then, only, it was brighter and more delicate. And what about those chosen girls? There was no news of them in the reports. I asked a somewhat familiar kid from the old orphanage to inquire. He said those 10 girls were all doing poorly. Their grades were a mess. They often fell ill, and their appearances grew increasingly ordinary. People at the orphanage claimed it was their own fault for not improving themselves. 2 of them have already been taken in by relatives, and the remaining ones are also doing poorly. They were severely cyberbullied. "Are they still wearing the bracelets on their wrists?" I asked. "Yes." The child said. "Mrs. Lin said it's a symbol of status and must be worn." I closed the chat window. My heart felt wrapped in ice. Lin Jiaojiao's goodness was bought with their lives, yet the Lin family still basks in the halo of philanthropists. That's disgusting. Time flies. I stayed in the village for 5 years. I am 15 years old. Over these 5 years, I've grown taller and more mature. without wearing that wretched bracelet. My appearance hasn't deteriorated, in fact. I've become even more delicate looking than I was as a child, my health is excellent too, and farm work has made me quite strong. My academic performance has consistently ranked first in my grade. Xiaomei has also grown taller and become a carefree young woman. The old lady is still in decent health, just older now. These past 5 years, I haven't actively sought news about the Lin family, but occasionally, I still catch glimpses of them on TV. Lin Jiaojiao became a celebrity, appearing on various shows with a large fan base. She was admitted to the best high school in the city. Meanwhile, Lin Fuhao became the wealthiest person. Everything was smooth sailing. It seems like all the good luck that was sucked away has concentrated in their family. But I know it's time to move. I can't keep hiding in the village forever. I need to get back to the city through exams, aim for the best high school, stay closer to them. The high school entrance exam results are out. I ranked first in the entire county, good enough to get into the best high school in the city. No, one high school. Xiaomei also got admitted to a high school in the county. The old lady was very happy and killed a chicken for us to eat. Wan Wan, you've made us proud, the old lady said as she placed a chicken drumstick in my bowl. Once you're in the city, study hard and stay out of trouble. I know, Grandma. Before leaving, I left the old lady a letter and all the money I had saved over the years, which wasn't much, just earnings from odd jobs and scholarships. In the letter, I told her the truth. Not the whole truth, just that the Lin family had wronged me, and I was going to the city to seek justice. I was afraid that if something happened to me, she would worry. Xiaomei saw me off to the station. Call me when you get to the city, she said, her eyes reddening. Be careful of the Lin family. I will be. The car started moving, watching the village and Xiaomei's figure grow increasingly distant outside the window. My heart ached a little. But more than that, I felt determined. Lin family, I'm back. First high school really is different. Tall buildings, green trees, and a large playground. The students are dressed in neat uniforms and look very smart. Holding my admission letter, I found the homeroom teacher. He was a male teacher with glasses, surnamed Xiao, Su Wan. He looked at me, first in the county. Impressive. Thank you, teacher. Your dorm is in 302. He handed me the key. Come to me anytime if you need help. Alright. Dorm 302 housed 4 people. The other 3 were from the city, dressed in brand name clothes, and looked at me a bit strangely, probably because my clothes were old, and I carried a faded cloth bag. I didn't pay it any mind. After tidying up my bed, I headed to the classroom. Class 1, Grade 10, Honors Class. When I entered, many people were already seated inside. Suddenly, someone pointed at me and whispered, "Is she the one who ranked first in the entire county?" I heard she came from the countryside. I found a seat by the window and sat down. Just as I put down my backpack, there was a commotion at the door. A group of people escorted a girl inside. It was Lin Jiaojiao. 5 years had passed, and she had grown even more beautiful. Her skin was fair, her eyes were large, and she wore the school uniform of one high school, which looked like a designer brand. She walked straight to the seat next to the podium and sat down. It was the best seat in the class. All eyes were on her. She seemed accustomed to it. Slightly raising her chin, I watched her. On her wrist, she wore that silver bracelet. Under the sunlight, it gleamed with an eerie glow. Her gaze swept across the classroom, and when she saw me, she paused for a moment. Perhaps she thought I looked somewhat familiar. Impossible. In my previous life, after I dropped out of school, we were from 2 completely different worlds. In this life, she wouldn't recognize me even more. Sure enough, she quickly averted her gaze and started chatting and laughing with the girl beside her. The class bell rang. The first lesson was self-introductions. When it was my turn, I said, "Hello everyone, my name is Su Wan." There was little reaction from the audience. When it was Lin Jiaojiao's turn, she stood up and smiled slightly. "My name is Lin Jiaojiao." Applause and whistles immediately erupted from below. She bowed with a smile, and as she sat down, she deliberately glanced at me with a hint of disdain. I ignored her. The real show has just begun. Just a few days into the school year, I became the odd one out in the class, because I was too country, and also because I did well academically. In the first monthly exam, I ranked first in the class. Lin Jiaojiao came in second, just 3 points short. Her face looked terrible. From then on, the way she looked at me was filled with hostility. Not just her, but even some of the girls in class who fawned over her started targeting me, deliberately knocking my books off and talking behind my back, saying I only got first place by rote learning, that I'm jealous of Lin Jiaojiao. I endured it all. Now is not the time yet. I need to gather evidence about that bracelet. I started paying attention to Lin Jiaojiao. She wears that silver bracelet every day, never taking it off even to sleep. Moreover, I've noticed a pattern. A few days before each exam, she always seems mentally unwell, her complexion slightly pale, but during the exam itself, she becomes energetic again. As for me, through inquiries with that child from the orphanage, I learned that the girls still living there would fall seriously ill every time Lin Jiaojiao had an important exam or competition coming up. My heart sank. Just as I suspected, when Lin Jiaojiao needs nourishment, they are sucked even harder. That day, in front of the school bulletin board, I saw the news that Lin Jiaojiao had won first prize in the city's essay competition. In the photo, she was smiling like a flower. I remembered that a few days ago, the children at the orphanage told me that Li Ting was hospitalized again, this time with uremia. She needs a kidney transplant, but she's an orphan. Where would she get the money? The funds provided by the Lin family are only enough for her basic treatment. I clenched my fists. I can't wait any longer. I started thinking of a way. How can I get the evidence? Should I just go ask those girls directly? They probably wouldn't believe me. Moreover, they're definitely being watched by the Lin family right now. Go to the Lin family. Even more impossible. Their home security is very tight. I thought of that silver bracelet. That's the key. If we could get Lin Jiaojiao's bracelet, or those girls' bracelets, we might find some clues. But Lin Jiaojiao kept a close watch. Those few girls were also required to wear them. What should we do? The opportunity soon came. The school organized a sports meet. Lin Jiaojiao signed up for the 100-meter dash. While she was running, her bracelet kept swaying. A sudden idea struck me. On the day of the race, I stood by the track, pretending to watch the excitement. The starting gun fired, and Lin Jiaojiao dashed forward. As we approached the finish line, I accidentally tripped forward, landing right on the track next to her. Startled, she lost her footing and fell to the ground. The silver bracelet on her wrist flew off. It fell not far from me. There were gasps all around. I immediately got up, pretending to help her while quickly picking up the bracelet. The cool touch felt exactly as I remembered. The pattern on it is clearer and more eerie than the one we were given before. My bracelet, Lin Jiaojiao screamed, clutching her scraped knee. Give it back to me now. I handed the bracelet to her, deliberately brushing my fingers against it. Sorry, I didn't mean to. She snatched the bracelet and clenched it tightly in her hand, glaring at me. You did that on purpose. I didn't, I said with an innocent look. A teacher nearby came over and asked what was going on. Lin Jiaojiao said I had deliberately tripped her and snatched her bracelet. I said I just accidentally fell. The teacher looked around, and no one could prove I did it on purpose. In the end, I was only made to apologize to Lin Jiaojiao. I apologized, but I've already got what I wanted. When I picked up the bracelet just now, I scraped a bit of powder from its inner side with my fingernail. Very subtle, but it should be enough. I carefully collected the powder and hid it in the crevice of my fingernail. Back at the dorm, I immediately found a small plastic bag and stored the powder inside. I need to find someone to test it. Let's see what this stuff is actually made of. Who should I ask? I thought of Teacher Zhao. He was our homeroom teacher and also the chemistry teacher. Moreover, he was an upright person and usually took good care of me. I hesitated for a moment. Tell him the truth. Will he believe it? Never mind, just give it a try. After school, I went to the office. Teacher Zhao is grading homework. Teacher Zhao, can I ask you something? Sure, go ahead. I took out that small plastic bag. Teacher, could you help me see what this is? Just a little bit of powder. Teacher Zhao paused for a moment. Where did this come from? It's scraped from a friend's bracelet, I said. She always wears it and hasn't been feeling well lately. I'm a bit worried. Teacher Zhao took the plastic bag and examined it against the light. This looks like silver, but I'm not sure. I'll take it to the lab for testing tomorrow. Thank you, teacher. You're welcome. He smiled. But why not go to a jewelry store to verify it? I I was afraid she'd be upset if she found out. Alright, I'll let you know when there's a result. I walked out of the office, feeling slightly relieved. I hope there will be a discovery. The next day, Professor Zhao called me into the lab. His expression was very serious. Su-Wan, be honest with me, where exactly did this thing come from? This isn't ordinary silver, he interrupted me, pointing at the test report. It contains a large amount of lead, along with some very unusual components, like some kind of mineral powder I've never seen before. Mineral powder, correct? Professor Zhao looked at me. Moreover, this component is highly unstable and could have adverse effects on the human body. Prolonged exposure may lead to weakened immunity, even affecting the nervous system. My heart sank abruptly, just as I thought. That bracelet is problematic. Teacher, could this ingredient make people sick or dumb? Teacher Zhao frowned. Theoretically, if it affects the nervous system, it might impact memory and cognitive abilities. What's wrong? I looked at him and took a deep breath. Teacher, I might need your help. I told him everything, from the orphanage funding, to the bracelet, to the changes in the girls, to Lin Zhao's improvement, and then to Li Ting's uremia. Teacher Zhao was stunned. Is what you're saying true? It's absolutely true. I took out my phone, which contained past chat records with the children from the orphanage, as well as comparison photos of Lin Zhao and those girls. Teacher Zhao examined them one by one, his expression growing increasingly grave. This is horrifying, he murmured. The Lin family is known as prominent philanthropists. It's all a facade, I said. They're draining the life from those girls. Teacher Zhao remained silent for a long time. Su-Wan, what do you want to do? I want to expose them, I said. Make them pay the price. It's difficult. Teacher Zhao shook his head. The Lin family has significant influence. With just these chat records, photos, and this test report, it's not enough to prove anything. They could claim it's a coincidence or that you're spreading rumors. I know it's hard, I said, but I have to do it. Teacher Zhao looked at me, his eyes filled with both sympathy and determination. All right, he said, I'll help you. With Teacher Zhao's help, things went much more smoothly. He used his connections to contact a student who worked as a journalist. The journalist's surname was Qin, a man of strong moral principles but not well known. We met at a coffee shop. I handed over all the evidence to him. After reading it, reporter Qin remained silent for a long time. If this is true, it would definitely be big news, he said, but the risks are also huge. The Lin family won't let us off. I'm not afraid, I said. Neither am I, said Teacher Zhao. Reporter Qin looked at us and nodded. All right, I'll do it, but we need more evidence, like the testimonies of those girls, and the principle behind that bracelet's luck transfer. It sounds mystical, but it'd be best to find some basis for it. How do we find it? Let me think, Reporter Qin said. This kind of thing involving metaphysics might be related to certain feng shui masters. The Lin family might have hired someone. We began to divide the work. Reporter Qin went to investigate whether the Lin family had any dealings with a feng shui master. Teacher Zhao tried to contact those girls and persuade them to testify. Meanwhile, I stayed at the school to keep an eye on Lin Zhao and the bracelet. Soon, Reporter Qin had some news. He found out that the Lin family had indeed hired a feng shui master, surnamed Liu, who was very mysterious and rarely appeared in public but visited the Lin family several times a year. This Master Liu is said to be very powerful, said Reporter Qin. Many wealthy people seek his advice. He's the key, I said. Things weren't going smoothly on Professor Zhao's end. Those girls were either too sick to speak or closely watched by the Lin family, making it impossible to meet them. After much effort, one was finally contacted, but she didn't dare to speak. She said Mrs. Lin had warned them that if they dared to speak ill of the bracelet, their funding would be cut off, and they'd be sent back to the orphanage. They were terrified. What should we do? I was getting a bit anxious. Don't worry, Teacher Zhao said. Let me think of another way. Maybe we can start with Li Ting. She's the most severely ill and might be more willing to resist. Li Ting was in the hospital, in very poor condition. Teacher Zhao pulled some strings and visited her at the hospital under the guise of being a volunteer. When he came back, his face looked very grim. Li Ting is very weak, he said, but she told me she vaguely remembers that every time she wears the bracelet, she feels something being sucked out of her body. She wanted to take it off. But she couldn't. Whenever she tried, she would feel dizzy and nauseous. Couldn't take it off. I was stunned for a moment. Yes, Teacher Zhao said. She said the bracelet seemed to have grown onto her hand. I remember in my previous life, I also tried to take it off, but failed. At the time, I thought it was because I wasn't strong enough. Turns out, that wasn't the reason. That bracelet, once put on, couldn't be taken off. This further proves there's something wrong with it. Is Li Ting willing to testify? She is, Teacher Zhao said, but she's too weak physically, and might not last much longer. My heart clenched. It must be done as soon as possible. That day, at school, I saw Lin Jiaojiao talking to a middle-aged man. The man was dressed in a tang suit, wearing gold-rimmed glasses, appearing refined and polite, but his eyes were sinister. Lin Jiaojiao was very respectful toward him. I secretly took a photo and sent it to Reporter Chen. This is Master Lu. Reporter Chen quickly replied, the opportunity has arrived. I quietly followed them. They walked to a secluded spot on the school grounds. How are you feeling lately, Jiaojiao? Master Lu asked. Pretty good, Lin Jiaojiao replied, but I struggled a bit with the last exam. That's normal. Master Lu said, those containers are getting weaker, and the nutrients they provide aren't enough. I'll go and replenish them in a while. Again, Lin Jiaojiao frowned. Won't they? He won't die, Master Lu sneered. As long as there's still a breath left in him, he can be used. Once you're completely stable, they'll be of no use anymore. My heart felt as if it were being sliced by a knife. A container, nutrients, these beasts. I took out my phone and recorded their conversation. Halfway through the recording, Master Lu suddenly looked in my direction. Who's there? I was startled and turned to run. Catch her, Master Lu shouted. Lin Jiaojiao also reacted and gave chase. I ran desperately. The books in the backpack clattered loudly as they swung. I ran to the teaching building, turned a corner, and hid in the women's restroom. My heart pounded as if it were about to burst. After a while, footsteps and voices could be heard outside. Where did you run off to? It was Lin Jiaojiao's voice. Forget it, Master Lu said. Just a student, probably didn't hear anything. Be more careful next time. The sound of footsteps faded away. I leaned against the door, gasping for breath. But I laughed. I got the crucial evidence, the recording. With this recording, combined with the previous test report, chat logs, and photos, it's enough. Reporter Chen was also excited when he saw the recording. We can publish it, he said. I'll organize it tonight and post it online. Wait, I said, can we hold off for one more day? Why? Tomorrow is the day the Lin family is hosting their charity gala. I said, all the city's media will be there. That would be the best time to release it. Reporter Chen thought for a moment. All right, tomorrow it is. That night, I couldn't sleep. I was both excited and nervous. I didn't know what would happen tomorrow, but I know, tomorrow, the sky of the Lin family will collapse. The charity banquet was held at the most luxurious hotel in the city. Elegant dresses and sparkling wine glasses filled the air. Mr. Lin and Mrs. Lin stood at the entrance, giving interviews to reporters. Lin Jiaojiao was dressed in a beautiful gown, looking like a princess. Their family appeared happy and perfect. I sat in the corner with Teacher Zhao and Reporter Chen. Reporter Chen's laptop was already prepared. It's about time. Send it, I said. Reporter Chen took a deep breath and pressed the send button. A lengthy article, titled Charity or Plunder, exposing the life extension conspiracy of the richest Lin family. It detailed how the Lin family used the bracelet to steal health, intelligence, and beauty from orphans and transfer them to Lin Jiaojiao. Attached were test reports, chat records, photos, Li Ting's testimony, and that crucial recording. After the article was published, it exploded like a bomb across the internet. At first, no one believed it. Is the editor crazy, daring to slander the Lin family? This is way too far-fetched, and now it's about changing fortunes. But soon, some people began to believe it. I know one of those girls. She's really become very strange. Her grades plummeted, and she's always sick. I saw Lin Jiaojiao when she was little, really ordinary and sickly. How did she suddenly become so beautiful and smart? That recording sounds real. A vessel, nutrients, how terrifying. The rumors began to spread. At the banquet, someone saw the news. Whispers began to spread. The smiles on Mr. Lin Fuhout and Mrs. Lin's faces gradually froze. Lin Jiao also took out her phone, and her face turned pale upon seeing the news. "Dad, Mom, look at this," she screamed. The reporters smelled blood in the water and swarmed in. "Mr. Lin, are the rumors online true? Are you really mistreating orphans? Was Lin Jiao's success stolen?" The flashlights kept flickering. Lin Fuhao's face turned livid as he pointed at the reporters. "Nonsense, it's all slander. Security, get them out of here." But it was already too late. More and more people saw the news. The scene was in complete chaos. People began to leave, cursing under their breath, calling them liars and hypocrites. At that moment, the hotel's main door was pushed open. A group of police officers walked in. "Mr. Lin Jiangwo." The name of the wealthy Lin, Mrs. Lin. "We've received a report suspecting you of intentional harm and fraud. Please come with us." Lin Fuhao collapsed to the ground. "Mrs. Lin screamed. It wasn't us. It was Master Lu. He did it all." Master Lu. He had already fled. Lin Jiao watched all this and suddenly went mad, trying to remove the bracelet from her wrist. "It won't come off. It won't come off," she cried, pounding it with her hands and biting it with her teeth. The bracelet remained immovable, only tightening further, cutting into her wrist until it bled. Ah! Her agonized screams were especially piercing in the chaos of the hall. I stood in the corner, watching coldly. This is just the beginning. In the following days, the Lin family became the biggest news. Their company's stock price plummeted, and partners withdrew their investments one after another. The bank demanded repayment. The past scandals have also been dug up: tax evasion, unfair competition, and even a few old cases are all linked to them. Mr. Lin and Mrs. Lin were detained in custody. Lin Jiao was sent to a mental hospital due to a mental breakdown. The bracelet on her wrist was ultimately sawed off by a doctor. After it was removed, she rapidly aged, becoming ugly and foolish, just like she was as a child. Or even worse, every day in the psychiatric hospital, she would only repeat one phrase: "Give them back, give them back." That Master Lu was also caught. He confessed to everything. He did indeed know some dark arts. That bracelet was a talisman he crafted to change one's fortune. The Lin family paid him a huge sum to use the lives of orphans to extend Lin Jiao's life. The selected girls were all carefully chosen vessels by him. The truth comes to light. Public opinion was in an uproar. People finally realize how wrong those girls who suffered online violence were. All sectors of society have begun donating to help Li Ting and other girls receive medical treatment. Li Ting successfully underwent a kidney transplant surgery. Although still in recovery, her condition is improving. The other girls also took off their bracelets, and their health gradually improved. Although their academic performance couldn't match what it was before, it slowly began to show progress. Teacher Wang and the orphanage director were dismissed and faced legal consequences for accepting bribes. Everything was moving in a positive direction that day. I went to the hospital to visit Li Ting. She had lost a lot of weight, but there was light in her eyes. "Su Wan, thank you," she said. "Don't mention it," I replied. "We should thank ourselves for not giving up." "Yeah," she smiled, stepping out of the hospital. The sunlight was warm. Teacher Zhao and reporter Chen were waiting for me. "It's all over now," said Teacher Zhao. "Yeah, it's over," I said. Reporter Chen became a well-known journalist for covering this story. He patted me on the shoulder. "If you ever need anything, just let me know." "All right." I returned to school. The way my classmates look at me has changed. There's admiration, there's guilt. No one dares to bully me anymore. Lin Jiao's seat is empty. I sit by the window, watching the sunlight outside. The resentment and unwillingness from my past life seem to have dissipated with the downfall of the Lin family, vanishing like smoke. At last, I can truly live well, for myself, and for those girls who once suffered. The road ahead is still long, but I am not afraid, because I know that justice may be delayed, but it will never be absent, and those who do evil will ultimately pay the price, a painful price. That's all for today's story. If you've listened this far, please leave "happy every day" in the comments. A little light wishes everyone happiness every day.